significantly better.
You care about the background?
No.
You just kept staring at it. I didn't know. I was like,
All right, hey everybody. Today we are going to be doing a hop rub, and I realize it isn't something that I have covered before on the channel. So me and Big Josh Halper are going to be doing little hop rubs today. We are doing some stuff from our friends at Crosby Hops. We're going to be taking a look at their estate grown Comet, their Triumph, and their Strata. They make it clear on some of the hop varieties that they have that estate grown is something that they want to get that information out there, because a lot of times, sometimes when people talk about grapes, they'll talk about terroir, what the soil or what the earth does for the agricultural product being grown. And they feel as if, and it's kind of something cool that they do with a lot of their stuff. They grow hops that grow well there, not just from a volume standpoint, but hops that smell and taste good when they're grown on their farm, because that is a real thing. They are excited about their Comet that they grow, so we are going to check that out, and a few other things. Honestly, some of the stuff that I'm doing right now is I'm looking for some hops that I want to feature in an upcoming Pilsner that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be jumping in this rub a little bit. I thought I would show you some of the baseline techniques that we use here. I looked around online. I mean, there's not super hard and fast ways to look at this stuff. Big picture, you want to be able to break the pellet up. Josh thought that it would be a good idea. I wanted to potentially use a mallet to smash them. But we thought that that might also be a little bit aggressive. But we're going to break those up. We are going to be raising the temperature of these pellets, because as you raise the temperature on these pellets, it'll help to release those aromatics. We will do a rub as part of kind of breaking those pellets down once we have them crushed up. Again, raising temperature to get some of those volatiles. And then we are going to drop the green matter in our hands. And then we're going to have a bunch of oils on our hands, and we're going to re-rub that and go back to that again. So that's pretty much what we have going on. First off, we have the estate grown Comet, and I'll just give you kind of the little rundown on this hop as Crosby describes it. Grown exclusively in Oregon's beautiful Willamette Valley, Crosby estate grown Comet brings colorful new life to this public variety released in the early 1980s. Oregon's unique terroir provides new wave aromas, such as melon and cantaloupe, coupled with classic notes of sweet citrus and floral. Aroma profile, tropical / fruit, citrus, floral. So we'll dig into this a little bit.
Slice those boys up.
Yeah, slice them up, man. Slice it up, slice it up. So we'll just smell the bag as a whole. It's a little bit, maybe it'll be a little bit like coffee. Sometimes when you open up a bag of coffee, it smells so good and it never tastes as good as it smells. So I have friends that are really good at this. My buddy Bill Gerds is awesome with being able to evaluate hops like this and pull those aromatics and stuff out and just kind of know where it's going to go with beers. This is something that I'm trying to get better with, and so this is one of the reasons why we're doing this hop rub at work today, and then we're kind of sharing it with you as well. So I'm no huge authority on the exact scientific way that you do this, but we're gonna go through the process. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm gonna be evaluating these is just, first of all, kind of the visual on it. Obviously, you probably have seen hop pellets before. They don't look super shiny. They're still greenish, yellowish, which is good. They do smell fresh and green, because that is, a big part of it. One of the other things that I like to look at too is, I don't want to see a glassy hop. So you can see if you go back to looking at it, it has kind of a matte finish. Maybe you can see that. I've seen some pellets that have a real glassy exterior on them. And that can be from like processing too hot or being forced through that die at too high of a pressure or too hot. The first thing you want to do is you want to start breaking some of these pellets up, and I'll show you. These are actually pretty easy.
Yeah,
I was able to crush that up like pretty much straight away. I wonder if I can show you. Boom. Yeah, that crushes actually pretty readily. We do have the beautiful backdrop of our brute trash can. They feel relatively oily, and one of the reasons I say that is even just from crushing with my fingers are already getting pretty green, pretty yellow with the oils of the hop.
How like totally crushed it, like powder in your hand before you start rolling?
Yeah, I think so. I would kind of go for it, kind of bust these boys down. I feel like I might have a little too much in my hand right now, but
I feel like I'm back to my days
it'll be all right.
Judging forage, smelling hay samples, breaking it up.
Josh has an agricultural background. He's got a PhD.
That's not.
He does have a master's.
I do not have a PhD.
He has a master's in agricultural ed, correct?
I do, agricultural education.
I learn about my people. You know what I mean?
He knows at least one thing about
I form relationships.
All
right, so
hops.
we're pretty busted up. You can see kind of some pieces here, but I've got a solid little pile going.
I think I grabbed too many hops.
I know, me too. I feel like there's a little too many.
It's a learning experience.
We'll go, and then we'll just do kind of a little rub here, warm these up, hold them in your hands, warm them up. You don't want to drop all the green matter at this point because I do think you want to smell that as a whole. And then they smell very nice. To me, they're more oily than I thought they would be. And I'll be able to show you in a little bit like how covered my hands are. Sometimes hop pellets can be a little bit drier, or hops in general can be a little bit drier, lower oil content. These are relatively sticky. I do get like some nice, almost like tangerine type citrus off of it.
Yeah, it's subtle though. It's not like, don't punch me in the face with it. I feel like there's like an herbal character as well though. Not just like from hops, but like a tea, floral, herbal note as well.
Yeah, I think tea, floral. Okay, so I'm gonna show my hands. So you can see how green my hands are, green/yellow. And now I'm going to re-rub my hands right now that I have like super majority of all this green matter off of here. I'm gonna re-rub that, wait for my hands to get real warm. Yeah, I think this is an awfully nice hop.
I don't get that melon that they're talking about.
I don't either. To me, it's more of it's almost like a zinger tea. You know, like a citrus zinger tea. I don't know if if everybody has
lemon zinger.
Yeah.
But not lemon.
Yeah, but like kind of like an orange. So if you're not familiar when we say zinger tea, I think it's Celestial Seasons maybe. It's just a hot tea, herbal tea variety that we can get in our neck of the woods, and it has a lot of times it's citrus or what have you. And I think there's something too saying there's kind of like this citrus type, orange type, tangerine type character to it.
It's really nice. I mean,
super pleasant. You can almost smell sweetness on it too, right?
Yeah. And I'm bad at judging these hops, but it smells different than a lot of that. Like, it's not just the citrus bomb.
Sure.
Which I like.
Sure. One of the things that I struggle with a lot is a lot of times I just feel like I'm smelling green when I'm smelling things. And so this is one of the reasons I'm trying to push through this and dive a little bit deeper into it. But these are really nice. So as you can see, hands are covered. And I'll say it's not always like this. I don't think this is the most oily hop out there, but this was a little stickier than I thought it would be. I'm super pleased with this. I can definitely see myself using this in an American-inspired Pils type beer, something a little bit more hop forward, which is kind of what we're shooting for here. So we're gonna wash hands, and then we are gonna come back with our next rub. All right, so we just washed up from the first hop rub, hands clean again. you're really gonna have to work to get through that stuff because it is oil, it is no joke. And remember to try to use as low as an aromatic, like a non-aromatic soap in order to do that, because that'll help out and it won't mess up what you're getting into next. But now we're gonna be looking at Triumph from our friends at Crosby. The line on this is, I believe, and I couldn't find the exact website, but they are saying for this hop, aromas have been described from hot pink bazooka bubblegum to peach stone fruit. This is a publicly available hop, I believe, meaning that any farm can grow it. Not all hop varietals are like that.
It's probably developed at a university or...
It does say these hops are well suited to pale ales, amber ales, and pilsners. Quote, it's a little on the lighter side. And I think what you're gonna find from some of these varieties that we're gonna look at that might have a little bit of noble parentage, that they might not be the fruit, pine, cannabis bombs that a lot of stuff, as a lot of some of the bigger name hops, the boutique variety. No, he used the term boutique. They might not be as aggressive as some of the more popular like Hop Boy hops today, but still super usable, great for layering and maybe even trying to feature. So we're going to check out Triumph. Triumph. Josh and I were talking about before Triumph, the insult dog. He was unfamiliar, but that's all right.
I'm young. I'm much younger than that.
He is much younger than that. Okay, different.
That is good.
Yeah.
Oh, very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so going back to the Comet. Sometimes I smell my arm, and it's not something just I do, but it's a way that you can clear your olfactory. Clear the olfactory. I don't find this just at first blush as fruity smelling as that. Like I think these might be like a little more herbal, just off the nose, but just right out of the bag. But let's find out. So I'm gonna take a few less pellets than last time. So again, looking at these pellets. We're not looking at anything that is like super glassy. Where is the camera on this? How does it manage to be right there? But anyways.
Science.
Yeah, still matte finish on them. They look fresh and green. Let's see how they crush compared to the Comet.
Pretty nicely.
Yeah, they break apart pretty easily. They don't seem super dry or powdery. Sometimes it's just grain matter that's just slammed together, and they're really hard to break down. But Triumph, yeah, this is another one that I from what I'm remembering, I couldn't find the exact website, but I do think there's some noble heritage in this hop, and it's one of the reasons that I explicitly want to check it out for this newer style American Pilsner that we're going to be making, is that it might not be like as big and robust as some of these other kind of Hop Boy hops, but maybe it can have some interesting noble / American type profile to it. But anyways, they bust up pretty easy. They seem about as oily, maybe a touch drier than the Comet. Tommy, you're gonna have to wait just a second because we're just about to rub, baby.
You can watch us rub. Just.
This is.
Why are you being weird about it? I'm being totally normal about it. This is a normal thing.
This is not the content I produce, Tom. Okay.
It's the content.
This is not on brand.
This is on brand when he's off camera.
I don't know what they're talking about. So piles up nicely. I get just off of this right here. I don't find it as punchy. I don't find it as punchy as the Comet. I
Really gotta get in there.
Yeah. I mean, it smells green.
Yep.
And sometimes I feel bad saying dumb things like that, but
I'm
gonna bring the temperature up on these hops now. And remember, we're also helping to break up little clumps of hop oil, spread them out over our hands. And increasing the temperature by doing the hop rub will again help to get some of those volatile oils out and around. This one smells different to me.
Yeah.
I do get like a lighter fruit thing off of it, but it's in a different category for me. Maybe like a lighter sweet fruit, maybe a little bit more floral.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like this almost has like a lavender or lilac kind of vibe to it to me. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's
no.
It reminds me of like some of the soaps that my mom used to make.
Okay. So you think like maybe like a little bit of like a wildflower thing?
I think so. Again, I'm not getting that like stone fruit peach. I did get a little bit off, just smelling it right out of the bag. I think I did pick up on that like pink bubble gum just a bit. I'm not getting it as much here though.
Yeah, I don't feel like I get as much of like a bubblegum note off of it. I do feel like a lighter fruit, maybe into that peachy apricot, but for me it would be lower level. And I do think it has kind of like a sweet floral kind of thing going on.
I feel like a sweet pea actually.
As you can see, yellow hands, boys, in the house. This one did seem a little bit lower oil than.
I don't have as much sticking to my hands.
I don't either. I think this one's gonna be easier to clean up. I have a hunch that the Strata that we're gonna do next is gonna be a big sticky boy. We'll be right back. We're gonna wash up and then we're gonna rub the Strata. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to La Strata, French for the Strata. Strata is a little bit more of what I like to call a hot boy hop. Strata, this is from Crosby Hops. This exciting new variety, an offshoot of open pollinated pearl or perla, I don't know how you want to say that, emerged triumphant from the Indie Hops breeding program at Oregon State in 2009. Strong disease resistance, vigorous growth, produced IPA and lager-friendly cones. Lager-friendly cones.
Multi-use cones.
Bursting with tropical fruit flavors and the heady aromas of citrus and sweet cannabis. Hopefully you're ready for some heady aromas. Tropical berry, orange zest, jammy, black tea, and dank.
Seems aggressive, but okay.
Oh yeah, it's stinky.
Stink boy.
You can. It's definitely got a little bit more of that dank-a-lank in there. To me, it butts up very closely with. I think it's a Mercaptan type thing, so I think it does butt up a little bit with. It's not quite skunk, but a little bit cannabis. To me, it's pretty smelly right out of the bag. To me, it's relatively dominant out of the bag, but as we all know, what you have in the bag is not what is necessarily going to be in the beer. So I'm gonna get a few pellets. Again, these are looking real consistent, and this isn't a surprise. When you have somebody that knows what they're doing with processing, you're gonna see consistent pellets like this. This stuff does break down really easily. Let me see if I can show you breaking this pellet down. It's not just that I'm insanely strong.
He isn't.
Actually, unusually weak.
That's why he hired me.
Curiously weak. People are like, oh, I thought he would be able to do that. You can't. These bust up super easy though.
Yeah,
dude.
way easier than any of the other two.
None of them are like, so sometimes these things, you can get them broken down and then kind of pinch them back together and they really stick together. Like you can almost kind of like Play-Doh
these
them back.
just fall, once they're broken apart.
Yeah, these aren't that oily because a lot of times, sexier hops are. Oh, I think they're nicer than fresh out of the bag. To me, there's more complexity to them now. So at first, it's kind of smelling the broken down pellet. This is more fruit forward to me now. It's still a little bit herbal, danky, but a little bit less now that we have it broken up. Yeah, I would say kind of citrusy. as well. Let's start warming these boys up. I do think these might be more oily than the other ones we did. I feel like I can feel them sticking together a bit more in my hands. And again, I'm not trying to get all the green matter out of my hands. You might be able to see some dropping in here. I do want to be smelling with the green matter in as well. That's a little bit nicer. It's more nicer. It's more citrusy as it heats up. Some similar, I would say there might be some similar characteristics between this and the Comet.
Yes.
But probably not as intense. I feel like this is a punchier hop. Now I have most of the green matter out. Now I'm just really heating up these oils in my hands. I would even almost say like orange into lemon maybe.
There's definitely more of a lemon character than the other ones.
Like maybe like a little like candied orange peel. Kind of sweeter orange peel type note. It's not so much tropical to me.
And I don't get berry. That dark tea, black tea thing, that's definitely there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. You can see we're pretty green right now. I think this is probably the stickiest of the three that we did. Yeah, interesting. So just kind of big picture, if you're gonna be doing a hop rub at home, I would take these things out of the fridge, freezer, what have you, let them come up to room temperature, smell the bag, crack them open, smell the bag, kind of get the impression from there. Maybe start a little further out and sniff your way in. Try different sniff techniques that you might be applying like on the beer tasting sensory side. Get them into your hands, break them down, smell that. Look for the things that we're talking about, the stickiness, the oils, different things like that. And then kind of put in your mind that you want to be smelling it with the green matter in contact and then kind of at this stage. I am getting like that zinger tea kind of thing out of it again, now that it's just like around my hands. So yeah, I mean, get them broken down in your hands, heat them up, smell them with green matter, smell it without green matter when you're kind of just down to this, and kind of dig around and see what you can pull out of these. You can also couple up this hop rub is not like the foolproof way either. Start doing some research on survivables, different hop compounds, what each particular hop is high in, and how that might translate. I would really suggest all the work that Scott Janish is doing over on scottjanish.com in his blogs. Dig into that there, and also New IPA. The book he wrote. So jump in on that stuff. Start digging into some of these hop rubs. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.